My name is Peter Sutter, and I'm a doctor. This is a love story. Hi everyone, I'm Adam Barr, audiobook narrator. Welcome to the Booth of Truth. By booth, I mean, of course, my studio, and by truth, I mean the author's truth. And this is where I get to collaborate with them to bring their characters off the page and into stories to be told out loud. Throughout this series of videos, I'm going to offer not instruction in voice acting, but instead a look behind the scenes and insights into one voice actor's approach to building characters in collaboration with authors. One more thing I'll say about this series is this is not like the books. If I make a mistake, I'm not going to fix it. I'm just going to plow ahead, so it's very freeform. For this first installment, those first two sentences come from the early part of Rosalind, a novella by the wonderful writer Judith Deborah, now available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes. And as you can hear, we meet our narrator protagonist right away, and in 14 words, we learn an awful lot about him. Peter Sutter is a doctor, all right. That's how he identifies first and foremost. Not just any doctor either. He's a cardiac surgeon, and a big one, in a big city. He speaks all over the world on what he does for his craft. There are procedures named after him. He's confident enough to leave a conference in Venice because he wants to buy a wonderful pair of cordovan shoes. That's how much he's in demand. He's a lifesaver every day. Now, perhaps you've met doctors like this, and they can be kind of arrogant. And you think, man, that guy's a pain in the ass. Until you're on the other side of it and he's saving your life or the life of a loved one. Then he's a hero. That's the rarefied air in which Peter Sutter exists. At least the part that the public sees. Now, what would make somebody so supremely educated, confident, oh yes, and wealthy? What would make a man like that get in his car and surreptitiously tail the friend of a patient that he just met as she goes to the bakery, the dry cleaner, the gas station? What would make him hide behind his car pretending to put air in his tires, risking ruining those cordovan shoes, just to follow this woman around? The thing is, Peter doesn't know himself. But think about that second sentence. We find out Peter's a doctor. There's a pregnant pause. And then he tells us this is a love story. And for as long as people have been alive, the course of that never did run smooth. In 14 words, we have a sense that something big is coming. Good, bad, a dizzying mix? We don't know, but we get to find out. And it's implied very strongly that the changes to our narrator protagonist will be profound. For the time being, though, how does Peter deal with the fact that he found this woman, Rosalind Cortland, fascinating enough to follow around in his car when he thinks she didn't notice? Well, of course she did. And when she shows up at his house that night to discuss having dressed him down rather significantly during the day, they drink, they talk, they get to know each other a bit. And then Peter realizes when she gets up to leave, he hasn't planned out what's happening next. Is he able to? Will he ever see her again? Will he make a bold move? Let's listen. I was desolate. I don't know how to flirt. I have no game, as Grace would put it. I never have. Please stay, I said. It was the best I could do. Rosalind smiled the Klieg-like smile she'd flashed at me on the couch. At this close range, she was no more than a foot away, and our eyes were almost level. The effect made me woozy, as though I'd glanced over a balcony from 200 floors up. Then she did two things. First, this. Our right hands were still clasped, and she placed her left hand on the back of my right so it was enclosed in both of hers. Her hands were soft and strong. It was a warm gesture, almost tender, and I felt a stab of white panic that tears might spring into my eyes. Then, this. She leaned forward, looked straight into my eyes, and swiftly and lightly drew her tongue across my lips. "Good night," she said. And then she left. Secure, affluent doctor world rocked. Now you know this is not normal stuff for Peter. Obviously, he's back on his heels as far as he can be without falling down. So how do you approach this as a character, conveying to the world the strong, confident surgeon who has had his world rocked? Oh, think back. Think back to when something like this might have happened to you. It was exciting. It was scary. It was exciting scary. All at the same time. And so thinking that over and getting the feeling back in your chest from, who knows, age 15, age 35, age 45, is the key to letting Peter be who he is in multiple emotions in one moment. And it's what makes him a great character throughout the book. Great writing by Judith Deborah. The book is Rosalind. It's a novella, and it's available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes. I'm Adam Barr. This has been The Booth of Truth. Thanks for listening.